Hey Mama, welcome to the podcast. If you pay attention to the schedule that I release my episodes on, you'll realize that this is a little later than it usually comes out. And that's because my 2-year-old decided he didn't want a nap today, and it's impossible to record an episode with a loud 2-year-old. Anyway, my husband has now taken the 2-year-old and we are recording. At this season in my life, I am doing a podcast every Tuesday and every Friday. And my Tuesday episodes are focused on motherhood, and my Friday episodes are focusing on encouragement, mental health, emotional health, taking care of your mind during pregnancy. So, thank you for joining. I am so glad you are here. I hope that you will take what you learn in this episode and apply it into your pregnancy. Hi, I'm Jocelyn, fellow mom of 5 and host of the Positivity in Pregnancy and Motherhood podcast. I help pregnant women and mothers to find the positivity in their season of life through changing their thoughts to work for them and not against them. I help mothers find the small, doable steps in thought and action without making drastic changes to their everyday mom life. And I can help you. Let's find positivity during our pregnancies and in our motherhood together. Thanks for joining. Hello, Mama. I am so glad you're here, as I mentioned at the beginning of this episode. Today we are going to talk about tips for traveling while pregnant, specifically 5 tips for a peaceful and healthy adventures. And I want to do this one because it's summertime, and oftentimes there are travel plans, reunions, things that you don't normally do that sometimes you do during the summer. Traveling while pregnant, though, can bring a mix of excitement and uncertainty. You might have some questions in your mind like, will I be comfortable? What if I get tired? What if the nausea flares up? Am I prepared enough? If you felt any of those thoughts, you're certainly not alone. Today I'm going to share 5 practical tips for traveling while you are pregnant. But even more importantly, I want to encourage you to care for one of the most overlooked parts of your pregnancy. And I mentioned this at the beginning of the episode as well, but that is your mind. Pregnancy changes so much, physically, emotionally, and while we spend a lot of time talking about prenatal vitamins, hydrations, we've talked about doctor's appointments, we don't always talk about protecting our peace. In fact, that is something that I really strongly promote on this podcast is the mental health, the peaceful part of your mind, because we do care about nutrition and all that stuff does matter, but what we think about also matters. And God also cares deeply for our minds. There's a scripture that says something like, "You will keep in perfect peace those whose minds are steadfast because they trust in you." So as we dive into today's episode, I want you to remember the destination matters, having your baby, but so does the condition of your heart and mind along the journey. Okay, so our first tip is to plan ahead and then let go of perfection. Now, even though these are applied in this episode towards pregnancy, you will find that they are great tips for you to use even after pregnancy. One of the best gifts that you can give yourself is preparation. Pack healthy snacks. Bring extra water. Keep your vitamins handy. Have your copies of important medical information if needed. Know where the nearest hospital or urgent care is if you're traveling somewhere that's unfamiliar. Preparation helps reduce unnecessary stress. So preparation is not the same thing as control, though, and I think this is really important for us to remember. Because even if we have the perfect plan, things go wrong. Sometimes flights get changed or delayed, weather changes, traffic happens. Your body may ask for far more rest than you expected. And instead of holding tightly to every detail, hold tightly to God's faithfulness. Make your plans, but leave room for grace. If things don't go exactly as expected, it doesn't mean your trip is ruined. Sometimes the sweetest memories happen in the unexpected pauses. And in those unexpected pauses, allow some time to just breathe through it, think through it, and don't panic. Tip number 2 is listen to your body without feeling guilty. Pregnancy has a beautiful way of reminding us that we are not machines. Your body is working around the clock to grow a miracle. And this means slowing down is not a weakness. It's a wisdom. So take breaks. Stretch often while you're driving. Walk around during flights when it's safe. Eat when you're hungry. Rest when you're tired. Remember that you don't have to keep up with everyone. Sometimes we feel guilty for needing extra rest, but remember, even Jesus rested. If the Son of God took time away to rest, we certainly don't need to apologize for taking care of ourselves. Give yourself permission to enjoy the journey at a slower pace. Your body is doing amazing work. And along with the slower pace, I would say lower your expectations. If you start with lower expectations, it helps going into it. Tip number 3 is to protect your mind from anxiety. Travel, especially if you don't do it very often, can stir up anxious thoughts, like questions we've talked about before. What if something goes wrong? What if I need medical care? What if? Our minds are incredibly powerful, and the more attention we give to our fearful thoughts, the louder they become. So instead, this is kind of a premise of my podcast. In switching negativity to positivity, you're going to, instead of those fearful thoughts, intentionally fill your mind with truth. Because before your trip, here's what you can do. You can create a peaceful playlist filled with worship music. You could download a devotional or listen to encouraging podcasts like this one. You could read scriptures while waiting at the airport. You can pray over your journey. There's a lot of things that you can do to bring more peace into the journey. It is true that we do not want to dwell on those faithful steps, but going back to tip number 1, if you're prepared, you don't have as much to fear. So let go of those fearful thoughts and cling to peaceful ones through those tips I just gave you. Tip number 4, which I've already mentioned in some form, but it is to keep your routine simple. Travel naturally changes our schedule, but keeping a few similar habits can help your mind stay calm. Maybe it's starting your morning with a prayer. Maybe it's taking a short evening walk or drinking your water first thing in the morning. Maybe it's writing 3 things that you're thankful for each day. But some of these simple routines create a stability, and that stability can help create peace. I know with pregnancy that it can feel like life is constantly changing. Small daily rhythms remind us that God is steady, even when everything else seems different. No matter where you are, His mercy is already waiting for you. Okay, tip number 5 is to remember that the goal isn't a perfect trip. And that's the lower expectations thing. Yeah, it's popping up a lot. Social media has a way of making travel look effortless and glamorous, if I could say those words. There's pictures of people with beautiful maternity photos, perfect sunsets, happy smiles. But let's talk about some real life. Real life includes the swollen feet. It includes bathroom breaks, unexpected naps, nausea because it happens, and that's okay. The goal isn't perfection. The goal is presence. And with that, I encourage and admonish you to put down social media. Put it down while you're traveling. Be present with your family. Be present with your baby. And be present with God as you see new places and do new things. One day you'll look back and remember that the little baby was with you through every mile of the journey. He or she was with you on this road trip, this airplane ride. They were there for the sunrise, the quiet moments. Those memories don't have to be perfect to be precious. So, if you're preparing for a trip while pregnant, especially during the summertime, I want you to remember this. God isn't only watching over your destination, He is with you every mile of the way. When you feel tired, He can give you strength. When you feel anxious, He can offer peace. When your plans change, His faithfulness does not. So, Mama, let's pack your suitcase, bring your water bottle, grab some comfortable shoes, and a few extra snacks. But don't forget to pack something even more important, and that is your heart that trusts God. Because peace isn't found in having every answer. Peace is found in knowing who is traveling with you. Mama, thank you for listening to this podcast. If you want more help, I have 3 videos that I offer for free that I have recorded when I was pregnant. So a little bit about these videos is during pregnancy, specifically the nausea phase, craved encouragement, like in my mind. Like I just needed someone to tell me that I could do this. I doubted every day that I could get through that season. It was so hard. And so I had it in my mind after one of my pregnancies that I needed to make a video course, or I needed to have encouraging videos for every day of those 6 weeks of sickness or about there. For some it's less, for some it's more. And that's what I set out to do. I made 42 videos to help women feel encouraged with good positive mindset exercises during pregnancy. That's where those videos come from. It used to be you had to buy all of them to be able to do the course. But now I've broken them down into individual videos so you can title search which ones are going to be most beneficial for you. I also have put my 3 favorite ones for free, and I'd love for you to try them out. I want to help you get through this pregnancy with more positivity because you will enjoy it better. You will find more peace and be able to release some of those anxieties. I am praying for you, Mama, and encouraging you in these endeavors. Have a beautiful week and safe travels. Until next time. Thank you for being a part of the Positivity in Pregnancy and Motherhood podcast, for listening, for sharing, and most of all, for applying these tools into your own life to improve your own happiness so that you can find your own better thoughts and becoming the mother that you desire to be through taking small steps in thought and action to reach your goals. If you are a mother who has an inner desire to enjoy motherhood and pregnancy better, but you are having difficulty figuring it out, I can help you. Thanks for joining. Reach out, let's connect, and let's see you move forward in your motherhood. My name is Jocelyn, and I thank you for listening. Until next time.